In this video, we will show you how to replace your ignition control module on this Honda Accord with a 2.2-liter engine. This will be located along the passenger side of your engine. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. We're going to be working around the distributor, so you want to make sure that your engine is cool to the touch. You don't want to burn yourself. Let's start by removing the distributor cap from the distributor itself. To do this, you'll find that you have three 8mm headed mounting bolts. Two of them are out in the open, the other one's down along the back side there. We'll make our way down here and access the hardest one first. Got my 8mm on a semi-long extension. Now that we have that bolt out of there, we'll continue on up along here and make our way down. There we are. Leave that right in there. I'll lift this up, carefully set it aside. Now that we have the cap off, we have a clear view of our distributor rotor right here. Let's go ahead and carefully remove this. To remove your distributor rotor, you'll find that you have one Phillips head mounting screw inside this area, opposite to where the electrode would be located. Let's use a Phillips head screwdriver to remove this. Use a magnet to grab onto that. Careful not to drop it. Now we can take hold of that rotor and remove it from the distributor. Just give it a little wiggle. Now we can remove this protective cover. Now with all that out of the way, we have a clear view of our ignition control module down along this area. You're going to find that it has 4 wires leading to it up along here. We're going to have to disconnect them. Before you do, pay attention to where each one of them leads to. Towards the front of the vehicle here, we have the blue wire. Next would be this green wire. The wire in the center is a black wire with a white tracer, and as we make our way towards the backside there, we're going to find a yellow wire, and it looks as though it has a green or possibly a blue tracer on it. Once you've taken note of that, we can go ahead and disconnect each of these. Just take hold of it, slide it out of position. If you need to use some pliers, just be careful not to break anything. As you disconnect each one of the wires, just give them a quick inspection for corrosion. We'll set those aside. Now we're going to dislodge the wires from their mounting point. This just has a small metallic hook that you can generally just flex out of position and slide the wires out. Pull it right down. There we go. We'll set those aside. Now right in this same area, you're going to find 2 Phillips head screws holding this in place. Go ahead and remove the pair. This one over here first. There we go. When you go to remove this rearward bolt, it also holds that mount in place, so we'll be pulling both of them away at the same time. There's our clip and our mounting bolt. Now we can remove the forward bolt as well. This is the last thing holding this in place. Now we can take hold of this and remove it from the vehicle. Let's get that one wire clipped in there. Continue on to removing these 2 Phillips head screws to remove the ignition module from its plate. Pull that off of there. There it is, friend. Now we'll have a quick look at our plate here. Typically, you will find thermal paste residue on this area. Go ahead and clean it down. Once you have that cleaned, we'll put on another coating of thermal paste. Now we can continue with the installation of our control module. We'll get this properly aligned so we can start in each of our 2 mounting screws. Start them in, snug them up. Just leave that one a little bit. Leave that loose. Get this one aligned. Be careful not to drop these. All right, now that they're both started in, we'll just make sure they're nice and tight. Right there is bottomed out. Let's get this in the vehicle. As we slide this into position, you want to pay attention to this hooked area along the backside. That's for this yellow wire with the blue tracer to slide into. Bring this right in, grab that wire and slide it into place at the same time. Just press it in. There we go. Now we can start installing our mounting hardware. We remember we had that small mounting hook. That's for the rearward bolt. Once again, we're starting these in, and then we can snug both of them up once they're both started. Okay, we'll leave that loose. Now we can tighten them down. Now we can start reconnecting each one of our electrical connectors. As I mentioned, make sure they're in the exact order as when you had removed them. Start on the back side here. When you're pressing this in, you want to make sure you're inside of the groove, not just sitting inside the boot. It has to make good contact. Give it a tug, make sure it's secured in place. Now as we make our way along here, we're going to make sure that we have the wires inside of their mounting bracket along the bottom. Just flex that as necessary. Crimp it down. The next wire coming from the rear towards the front will be the black with the white tracer. Once again, sliding it on, making sure it's properly seated. Now we're going to go with the green wire. Lastly, our blue wire. Continue on to this plastic portion. Just slide that right in there. Let's prepare to install our distributor rotor. When you go to install this, you want to make sure you have it in the proper orientation. If you were to look inside the port along the backside, you'll find that you have a circular port, but it does have a flat area. We want to make sure that we align that with the shaft properly, and then we'll continue on with our mounting screw. Should want to press right on. For our mounting screw, that's going to come through the side of this and screw right in. Double check to make sure it's not cross-threading. You don't want to cause any damage. Okay, we've got that bottomed out. Just make sure it's nice and tight. Now it's time to reinstall the distributor cap. We'll take this and get it in position, ensuring that we did not twist any of our spark plug wires. Start in each of your 8mm headed mounting bolts and snug them up. Backside one there. Okay, let's snug them up. Right there's bottomed out. Just take it a little bit further. Do the same to all. Trying to get this on there. Take hold of your distributor cap, ensure that it's completely sealed all the way around. Now that we have everything back together, let's just quickly check each one of our wires to ensure that they're properly installed on the distributor cap. It's possible that they came loose, in which case you're going to have a running condition. We'll also ensure that the wires are properly mounted. I can see that this one came off down along the bottom here.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.